What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Logisticalstyles coming at you from the studio doing another video, and today we're going to do a little bit of a comparison video. This isn't going to be a test or an unboxing type video, but it will be a comparison video. And what are we comparing today? Well, today we are comparing the Xvive U3 wireless microphone system with the Boeska MTU-002 wireless microphone system. They're very similar products that do basically the same thing, but they do them a little bit differently, and they have a little bit of a difference in the features in each device. This is a product I've actually reviewed on this channel before. I've done a sponsored video, and then I've done a follow-up video. I've used these pretty frequently and had different results with them, and I do still like them. In fact, I like them so much that even though they sent me a free receiver and transmitter to test out for the initial video, I went out and bought another one so I could have a full set. Now, this product right here from Boeska, it's been out, I'm not sure when it came out, to be honest, but I heard about it maybe a month ago, and I saw it on a Facebook group, the DJ Idea Sharing Facebook group, and it got good reviews. People said that they really liked it. Some people had not seen it before and went out and bought it like I did, and we've all seemed to have the same response, which is like, these are pretty good products right here. The difference between the two products is the Xvives work on a 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and these Boeskas work on a UHF frequency. Now, they both have very, very similar specs. In fact, as I was going over the specs on the box, I realized that even the illustrations that they use are very similar. If you look at both of them, you'll see that they use the same kind of icon on the boxes. But as you read through the boxes, you'll see what some of the differences are. So the Xvive, I started out left and right. We'll keep going that way. So on my left right here is the Xvive U3. It has a 90-foot range, and so does the Boeska. It also has a 90-foot range. And I've tested both of these out in different circumstances. And when I test them in my yard, I do get between 100 and 125 feet before I start to experience any dropouts, which is pretty impressive. I don't think I'll really ever need to use these that long of a distance, but it's good to know that they can do that. But I think for best purposes and best results, you would probably want to stay under that the advertised 90 feet of transmission range. On the box, let's see, the dynamic range is exactly the same. It's 110 decibels for the dynamic range. The resolution is the same. You have a 24-bit 48K resolution on both devices. Let's see, they both work with line and mic devices, so there's a switch that will allow you to switch the level of the input, whether you're using a passive microphone and you're trying to convert it into a wireless mic, or whether you are using connecting this to your controller or your mixer. You can switch it to a line level and get a good clean sound. This one has a battery life of up to 6 hours. This Boeska advertises a battery life of about 5 hours, and that kind of is part of the pro and con of 2.4 gigahertz versus a UHF. UHF just uses a little bit more power. It uses more power than the 2.4 gigahertz. The 2.4 gigahertz, however, is a more universally acceptable frequency or standard, and it can be used just about anywhere in the world. Now, it does compete with a lot of other wireless devices, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cell phones, all these things operate on 2.4 gigahertz. Now, the UHF, not so much. It's not as crowded nearly as much. So that is something you gain, even though it uses more power and you lose about an hour of battery life. You do have a better range. So that is the trade-off between the two. Other than that, the only difference are really the features, and we'll get into that. I'll go ahead and grab a set of each of them and let you see the difference between them up close and personal. Okay, so here's my case that I keep them in. I bought this little case. I think I got it from Walmart or something. It was like a utility case, but I use it to hold all of my wireless devices. So I use this case right here to hold all of my wireless devices. I've got my Xvive Bluetooth adapter, which I've reviewed on this channel. I've got a pair of the Xvives and then a pair of the Boeskas right here. So this right here is what the Boeskas look like. Up front, you notice they have a screen. Let me turn them on. Okay, this one's completely dead. But this screen comes on and it shows you can see your battery strength, you can see what frequency you're on, and you can see your signal strength as well. No, actually it wasn't turned off. I was hitting the wrong switch. So, boom, you got both of them right here. There is a button on the front that allows you to set the frequency that you are on. Maybe you want to try a different frequency, and it will pair up, and you got to do it for both of them. So the one thing I don't like about these Boeskas is this power switch is kind of problematic. Like, you can easily hit the wrong button. So now they're pairing. It says finish, and before you know it, they will show the same frequency. Yep. So now they both show they're on the same frequency. But now what I don't like about these Boeskas is the power switch is right here. So I don't know if you can see it right here on this side. So it's very easy to accidentally hit it to turn it on or turn it off. I've noticed that I've been actually turning it off. And it's not even a switch, it's a button. On the other side is the switch that you would use to go from mic and to line. But to turn it on and off, there's a button right there. And it says goodbye. Now for the Xvives, you have these right here. Now they have a switch for the power that's on the front. Not quite as easy to accidentally turn on, but it does happen sometimes. Then there's also a switch to go from mic and line. Now, one thing I do not like about these is the fact that there is no screen. So it does not show you anything about your battery life or your signal strength. You can hit this button in the middle if you want to switch the channel that it's on. And for battery strength, you just kind of got to go off of these LEDs right here. It's not like it gets brighter or lighter or darker as it drains battery. So the best bet with these Xvives is to make sure you charge it up fully before you use it and charge it up every time you use it. With the Boeskas, you can kind of look at it and say, hey, I still got 50% battery life left. Let me go do this quick 1-2 hour gig, and you'll know how much battery life you have left. The other difference between the two is the build quality. There is a difference definitely when you hold both products in your hand. You can tell which one is the more expensive one. That is these Xvives, coming in at $100 for just one receiver and one transmitter. No, not $100, $199, $200 for that. And then these are $60 for receiver transmitter. Now the plastic is a little bit lighter, the metal is a little bit less prime than what you have on here. This is, a little bit more sturdy, but it's not falling apart on me. I'm not giving me any issues with the build quality. It's just a little bit different. I do prefer these because they do have the screen, as I mentioned. And as far as the sound quality, I've used them both side by side at an event, and I couldn't tell a difference. They both worked exactly as advertised and did what they were supposed to do. Now, one more difference between these two, and it's also listed on the box, and it may be important to some people. Like I said, I've used them side by side and couldn't tell a difference, but the latency on these is a little bit different. On the Xvive, they have a latency of less than 5 milliseconds. With these Boeskas, they have a latency of less than 3 milliseconds. So it seems like this gives a tighter, more accurate response. So that is one thing that these have going for them compared to the Xvives. So if I had to, put the pros and the cons against each other and, you know, give a point for one versus the other, I think this comes out as the winner. It's the winner because it has a better price point at $60. It has a screen which allows you to see your signal or see your battery strength. It also allows you to see what frequency you're on. This does not have the screen, so that's definitely a negative. It doesn't really give you information that's let you see what your battery life is like other than the red light on the receiver. This lasts a little bit longer. That is a positive for this. So if you're doing a 6-hour event, you can use this in confidence. But now I've used this for 5 hours, a little bit over 5 hours, and had no problem with this product. But I think this is the winner. One, because of the price. Two, because of the strength and the less likelihood of dropouts because you're not using such a crowded frequency. Hopefully, this is a little bit helpful for you. I know I didn't do a tests like I've done with other products before, but I don't think those tests have really been translating very well as far as seeing, you know, the sound quality or the full range. I think for these kind of products, it's best for me to just kind of talk about the product itself and let you decide based on the information I can give you. But I can tell you from experience that I've used them both and I hadn't had any issues with dropouts with this. I've had with the Xvive, I've been in some situations that were, I live really close to the Atlanta airport, so there's a lot of radio interference where I live or even at some of the gigs I do. So I've had some issues with dropouts before with that device, with the X5s, but I have been able to use them at other locations with no problem. So it's really kind of hit or miss. And I think I'm, you know, just very fortunate to be able to have both of them. So if I do have trouble with one, I can always swap out and use another one. But that's enough about me. What about you? Have you used these before? I'm sure you've all seen the Xvives before, and if you're on Facebook, you've probably come across the Boeskas or even some of the other knockoffs, because there's so many that look like this out there now, and there's others that don't even look like this, but they still do the same thing. So wireless technology is really, really making big strides and big advancements, and I think we're going to start soon seeing a lot more people using wireless systems for DJing and entertaining. But anyway, if you have used these, let me know in the comment. I'm going to put a link to both of these products in the description below. And I'm also going to put a link to a website which helps describe a little bit more better the difference between 2.4 gigahertz and UHF frequencies. So if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you've used these before, if you've had good experiences or bad experiences, let me know. And keep on the lookout for more videos. I've got more products that I'm going to be reviewing and some more tips and tricks as well. So until next time, it's your boy Logistical Styles, and I'm signing out. Peace.